What's up, guys? It's Zach the Celtics guy here. I'm back with another video, and it concerns a particular person that I'm actually a big fan of, and a rare politician in this country that I'm actually a big fan of, Tulsi Gabbard. And it is rare for me to be as big of a fan of a politician that I am of Tulsi Gabbard, because you all know how I get when it comes to politicians and just how much I can't fucking stand them. I mean, there's a few that I do defend, like Charlie Baker, governor of Massachusetts, who's a Republican, a moderate Republican, who's been a great leader for this state. Chris Sununu in New Hampshire, Larry Hogan of Maryland. I love those guys. I love moderate Republicans that are like that and are... I believe in them more than I do any of the fucking mainstream Democrats at this point, even though I'm pretty left-wing myself. But Tulsi Gabbard has recently made an announcement that she has withdrew from the Democratic Party. So now Tulsi Gabbard is no longer in the Democratic Party. And I've seen this coming for quite a while, and I'm actually very happy about that. And I'm actually happy about it. I think good for her, because why should Tulsi Gabbard stay in a party that literally treated her like shit and just did nothing but undermine her and literally tried to make smear attacks against her? I mean, we all know what happened. Tulsi Gabbard was, she was in the military, and she stood up against the U.S.'s regime change wars, and she's been vehemently against the Russian-Ukraine war, the NATO fucking proxy war. You all know my thoughts on that. And I just think that it's great that Tulsi Gabbard is no longer with them, and I don't think she should be, because the party didn't treat her well. They treated her like shit, and they would undermine her, and they would smear her as like, oh, you're a right-winger, you're not with us, because she's attacking the others, and she's going after Biden vehemently, and, you know, she goes after everyone. You know, she speaks her mind. I've always been a fan of Tulsi Gabbard. I've been a fan of her forever, okay? I've been a fan of her since I got into activism and everything, and, the activism that I do, that I've been doing for years, that I've been doing for a long time, and I've been in this for a long time, and I think it's great that Tulsi Gabbard has stood up, and I think she deserves better. I think she should just be an independent person, and I think that she is better than any of the Democrats put together. Tulsi Gabbard has more balls, more brains, and she is stronger than any of the Democrats that there is. Stronger than Biden, stronger than any of them, because I think she's better than literally all of them put together. And I just think it's great, and I think it's really good. And she called the current Democratic Party elitist cabal of warmongers. She's 100% right. I mean, look at what Biden is doing with the whole. Look at Biden's policies. Look at what he's doing with Russia and Ukraine, funding the fucking NATO proxy war, trying to undermine the country of Nicaragua, trying to interfere in the affairs of Nicaragua, trying to undermine the government of Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua, continuing and doubling down on the embargo and sanctions on Cuba, trying to do the same thing with fucking Venezuela, trying to interfere with Iran, pissing off North Korea, just all of this shit that Biden is doing. Like, Biden is garbage, and he is no step up from Trump under any circumstances whatsoever. And on a lot of policies, I hate to say this, but Biden has been worse on a lot of policies, if you want to get really down to it, and he really has been. Okay, he took a lot of Trump's policies and put them on steroids and human growth hormones. He literally did. Tulsi's better than any of them. And she also says that it's a party of cowardly wokeness. It's also that too, because you see exactly the way that things are, the wokeness. We all see this whole entire thing. I mean, the whole fucking thing over wokeness. I mean, just the censorship that's coming out of Joe Biden's fucking administration. I mean, look at what he tried to do with the Ministry of Truth. I mean, this whole entire administration has been on the wrong side of almost every single issue, has been on the wrong side of free speech. The Constitution has been on the wrong side of just fucking everything. Foreign policy for the most part as well. And that whole Ministry of Truth is absolute wokeness. Him propping up Nina Jankowicz, going around and trying to censor everybody's speech and calling people a bunch of fucking stupid ass terms and words and buzzwords that don't make any fucking sense. Trying to go around and censor people, censor anti-war activists like myself, trying to censor the gray zone, trying to censor other activists, and trying to censor pro-Russian voices and communists and leftists and everything else. So no, the current Democrats are a fucking party of wokeness. Okay, I don't even like using the word woke because I feel like the far right has just used that word and has fucking devoid it of any meaning. But in all honesty, there is such a thing as being woke because you see exactly what they do with the everything is offensive. You can't say this, you can't say that. You know, look at YouTube. YouTube is fucking woke. I mean, look at the shit that goes on with YouTube. Censoring speech and trying to censor people, pulling people's videos down and trying to false flag people's videos, trying to do that with Mint Press News, trying to do that with the gray zone. I mean, the list goes on and on. And in all honesty, the Democrats have been exposed for hypocrisy over the sense of look at the whole Florida Martha's Vineyard debacle with the migrants. Okay, just look at what happened with that whole thing, because that basically exposed hypocrisy on both sides, and I think Tulsi Gabbard has really just stood in between the fucking current day Democrats and the current day Republicans, and has kind of just stood in the middle of it. I mean, stood in the middle of it and is like, nah, pretty much fuck you. That's basically what she said. And it just goes to show that Biden doesn't give a shit about migrants. He's doubling down on Trump's immigration policies that were shit, trying to do the same exact thing. And he basically exposed himself as a big hypocrite because he supports policies in Latin America that are destroying those countries and are causing migrants to come over here in the first place. So he's doing that. He's actually doubling down on the sanctions on Nicaragua and Venezuela and other destructive imperialist policies that the U.S. has been igniting against those nations that have been destroying them from within. So now you got these big flux of immigrants. So I say, hey, dumbass, if you don't want these people coming over here, and the same thing goes for Ron DeSantis, if you don't want these fucking people coming over here, then don't support policies that destroy their fucking countries. And that's basically what Tulsi Gabbard has been saying, that's what she's been saying too in a lot of different ways. And no, Tulsi Gabbard is 100% right to leave the Democratic Party. You know why? Because I know how she feels. I was never really either one. I was never a Democrat or Republican either way. I mean, I never really was, even though I'm definitely much more left-wing today than I've been in recent years, although I was a fan of the Young Turks and Sam Cedar and all those other fucking bullshit channels. Y'all know how my whole journey with that went. You know, I unsubscribed from them years ago because I just couldn't take their bullshit anymore. But besides the point, you know, y'all know how that shit goes. I mean, if you don't know about that or whatever, check out my latest videos, my streams for that. But this concerns this topic. Tulsi Gabbard is basically, she's basically a knight against them. Like, that's basically what she is. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard is not with anything about them because she's against the war in Syria, interfering in Syria, which, by the way, that's another thing. I mean, Biden is doubling down on Syria. You know, we're still in fucking Syria right now, intervening in Syria and trying to overthrow the legitimate president of Syria, Bashar al-Assad, who is bringing peace to that great country, and is trying to do that, and is trying to bring Muslims and Christians together, while the U.S. and the West and the Arab Gulf nations are trying to destroy them. Tulsi Gabbard spoke out against it, and spoke out against the Syrian chemical hoax, and calling out that bullshit and saying we don't need to be involved here. We don't need to be striking these countries and bombing countries that didn't attack us, going after CNN and MSNBC for that, going after The View, going after all these other fucking shit libs that have been smearing her, neocons and neoliberals together, okay? So, Tulsi Gabbard has it right, and I wish her the best of luck in terms of this, because she needs to be with a party that is actually going to treat her right. And if she goes with the Republicans, that's totally fine. If she becomes a Republican, I'm not going to have any problem with that whatsoever. I will still support her 100%, because, like I said, it's rare for me to ever support to support politicians. I mean, I generally don't. There's few and far in between that I support really anywhere, whether in the U.S. or elsewhere. I really do not. I mean, there's a few that I support. Like, there's a very, very few that I support. Okay, I guess on her Wikipedia page it says that she is, I guess it says that she is an independent now. I think that's good. You know, she's an independent. That's great. If she becomes a Republican, then I say, you know what? Let her have at it, because they'll let her have it. You know, let her have her Republican dream if that's what she wants to be. If she wants to become that, then good. But I think she might just stay an independent, because she's called out Republicans too, even though fucking idiots online like, oh, I don't know, the Young Turks and fucking Sam Cedar try to call her a right-winger and all this other shit like that. So, you know what? If she becomes a Republican, I can have no problems with it. Because the Democratic Party is filled with a bunch of fucking warmongers. And the Russia-Ukraine war basically proved that. You want to know why? Because now it seems to be moderate Republicans that are standing against this war and NATO intervention in it, and trying to and just doing all of that shit, because it literally just seems like that. It is the literal opposite. It is the literal opposite of what it used to be. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard is now one of the few that is against this bullshit. Because when you have a situation where you've got the Russia-Ukraine war, so when you have this bullshit going on, and you see fucking Bernie Sanders out there kissing the ass of NATO and Ukraine and saying that I repeatedly denounce what Ukraine is doing, Ukraine being invaded by Russia, and blah, 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 and all this other stupid bullshit. And then when you have this and you got the squad being up there and fucking shilling over Ukraine, and yeah, let's go give $40 billion to them, when the U.S. is facing so many different domestic and international issues and is having various domestic issues, and inflation is still going on. Just all of this stuff. Okay? So you see this. And Tulsi was one of the few on the Democratic side that actually spoke out against this in terms of being, as far as a politician is concerned. So, you know, the Democrats have lost their way when Henry fucking Kissinger and Marjorie Taylor Greene are more anti-war on this issue than the fucking squad. That's how you know there is a problem. This is one of the reasons why Tulsi Gabbard is no longer with you dumbasses. That's the reason. Tulsi's doing the right thing. She's her own human being. And I say good for her, because she's actually a good human being. An actual decent and good human being. And better than what any of these fuckers ever have had to say about her. She knows who she is. I know who she is. And anybody with half a brain in their head, do the same. Because I think Tulsi's great. I think she'd make actually a decent president for this country. Just like I've said about other moderate Republicans in other different states. Hell, I'd even think fucking Rand Paul would make a good president. He'd be better than fucking Biden. He'd be better than Biden or Trump put together. What would be my thoughts on other Republicans that I'm actually very supportive of? Like Charlie Baker, the governor of my state of Massachusetts. I think he'd be great. You know why? Because how's Charlie Baker been? He's been a phenomenal governor of this state. Chris Sununu has been a phenomenal governor of New Hampshire, just to the north of me. Larry Hogan in Maryland has been great. I think Tulsi Gabbard is great. And I say good for her. I wish her the best of luck going forward. I really do. I was never a fan of either party. Never have been and never will be. And I think that we need to break free of the two-party system and let more parties get in the way. Get in the way and just put a fucking strangle hose on this two-party system. Because this two-party system is what is holding back this nation. It will always be status quo as usual, as long as we have Democrats and Republicans running the joint. When there's few and far in between good Democrats and few and far in between good Republicans, then I say we should vote for them. You know, if it was between really anyone, if it was between Rand Paul and Biden, I would vote for fucking Rand Paul in a heartbeat. Biden sucks. He's too fucking old. He's demented. He can't form a coherent sentence. And he has not done anything to change this country. In a lot of ways, he's made it worse. And yes, I never thought I'd ever say that. And don't get me wrong. Y'all know my thoughts on Trump. I fucking despise Trump. I fucking hate him. I think he's a fucking goddamn blowhard and an asshole. And he was a fucking horrible leader for this country too. Okay? So when I said the thing about Ron DeSantis and Joe Biden and everything else, okay, I ain't siding with DeSantis when I criticize Biden over the migrants. I'm just saying Biden was doing the same thing with the migrants on the planes and trying to ship them back and forth and trying to smuggle immigrants and whatnot. Oh, he was doing that. He was doing that. And he's supporting the policies that are destroying their countries. Okay? And don't get me wrong. I think Ron DeSantis is a horrible fucking person. And what he did to those fucking migrants and sending them over on a fucking plane like that is fucking vile and disgusting. And he should be in fucking prison for smuggling people. He should be fucking buried underneath every single fucking federal prison, jail system, everything. Okay? Ron DeSantis is a disgusting, horrible fucking person, and I fucking hate him. I've always fucking hated him, and I don't support him, and I never will support him. And I think you all know that at this point. But I'm just saying, it exposed hypocrisy on both sides. How does this tie into Tulsi Gabbard? Well, it ties into Tulsi Gabbard because Tulsi Gabbard is in between both of these people, and she wipes the floor with both of these sides in every capacity. Tulsi Gabbard is good. So I say good on her. And she can't be in it. And if I was a modern day Democrat, I probably would have left too. In fact, I would have left a long time ago. I would have left earlier this year when I saw, okay, here was the breaking point for me when it came to the Democrats. Once Biden started fueling borderline World War III with Russia over Ukraine, that's what made me say, nope, I'm done with the Democrats. I'm done with all of them. And I've just become my own person. I've always been my own person, but this whole thing took the cake. For Tulsi Gabbard, it was this and a whole bunch of different things. I know how Tulsi feels. A lot of people know how she feels. And I think with this, she's going to get a hell of a lot of recognition and respect. I respect Tulsi Gabbard, and I respect her decision, and I think what she did was great, and I wish her the best of luck going forward, because Tulsi Gabbard deserves better. And we as a nation, we also deserve better. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. But yeah, I wanted to get on here and talk about that because I'm actually planning on streaming tomorrow night at some point, and I kind of wanted to make this video while this topic is still fresh. Technically tomorrow because it's 1:41 in the morning, and you know me, I'm a night owl on my computer watching Roku TV and doing all that type of stuff. Just doing all that type of stuff and roaming around, just y'all know how that shit goes. But yeah, I'm going to upload this video and head to bed because I'm getting pretty tired. And And I will be back tomorrow with a stream at some point and other stuff in the works. Stay tuned for more stuff on the way. This is Zach, the Celtics guy, saying thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next stream coming up tomorrow night at some point. Stay tuned. Look out for that, including more videos and legal lessons, episodes, more stuff like that. Whole bunch of other stuff. Look out for it, and I'll see you all again with that and more stuff on the way, and I'll see you all again next time. And bye for now. Take care. Peace out. And I'll catch you all again next time. And have a good night, everybody. And long live Tulsi Gabbard, one of the few politicians that I actually support. And her leaving the Democratic Party, I wish her the best of luck. Take care. Peace out.